That puff of smoke coming out your tailpipe is not normal exhaust at all. It is your engine talking to you in real time. Ignore the wrong color long enough, and you are looking at a $2,800 head gasket job instead of a $40 fix. Point 1 on this list is the symptom that fools even seasoned techs because it only shows up for 4 seconds and disappears like nothing happened. I have watched guys drive that exact symptom for 6 months and turn a cheap sensor problem into a full transmission rebuild. 5 different smoke colors are coming up, and every single one of them means something different under the hood. Mix up 2 of these, and you could end up replacing a perfectly good part while the real problem keeps quietly getting worse. Stick around, because by the end of this, you will diagnose your Ford from the driver's seat before you even pop the hood. I am ranking these from sneaky to absolutely critical. So the most dangerous one is saved for last. Hit subscribe right now, because next week I am breaking down the warning lights your dealer prays you never Google. 15 years under Fords, and smoke color is the cheapest diagnostic tool you will ever use. So let's start counting down. Point 5. Point 5 is the smoke that changes color depending on engine temperature. And this confuses more people than any other symptom here. White smoke at cold start that turns faint blue once the engine is fully warmed up usually means you've got 2 separate problems happening at the exact same time. A minor coolant seep and aging valve seals wearing out together. That is not 1 repair, that is 2. And plenty of shops will only chase the louder symptom and send you home with half the problem still ticking away under the hood. A proper diagnosis here means a cold compression test followed by a warm one, comparing the numbers side by side instead of guessing. Skip that step, and you will keep throwing parts at a problem you never actually identified, which is how a $300 valve seal job turns into an $1,100 guessing game that still leaves the coolant leak untouched. The reason this combination is so sneaky comes down to timing. Valve seals only leak oil when the engine is cold and the rubber has shrunk slightly overnight, so that smoke clears up fast. The coolant seep needs heat and pressure to push fluid past the gasket, so it only shows up once things warm up, which is exactly why one test alone will never catch both problems at the same time. Point 4. That same idea of 2 problems disguised as one brings us straight to point 4. The oily film you have probably driven past 100 times without noticing. Smoke that leaves a visible oily residue on your rear bumper is a giveaway almost nobody checks. That residue builds up from oil vapor in your exhaust, condensing on cool metal every time you shut the engine off. It almost always traces back to a failing PCV valve, and that part costs $18 at most part stores. Replace it the moment you spot that film, because a stuck PCV valve lets crankcase pressure build up with nowhere to go. That pressure eventually blows out rear main seals, and suddenly your $18 fix has turned into a $700 seal replacement plus the labor to drop everything blocking access to it. Point 3. Pressure building somewhere it should not is exactly the mechanism behind point 3, and this one fools even experienced techs because it hides so well. Intermittent white smoke that appears for 3 or 4 seconds under hard acceleration and then vanishes completely, sometimes showing up only once every few drives. That is not coolant burning off, and it is not oil sneaking past worn rings either. That is a tiny crack in your intake manifold that only opens up under thermal expansion at full throttle, then seals itself shut again the second it cools back down. You can drive for months and only catch it twice if you are paying close attention. Caught early, the fix runs about $180 for the manifold and a few hours of labor. Left alone, that crack keeps growing wider with every hot cycle, and you will eventually need a full manifold replacement plus repairs for the cylinder damage caused by running lean every single time it pulls in unmetered air. Point 2. Running lean from a hidden air leak connects directly to point 2, which is where black smoke actually starts making sense. Black smoke means you are burning too much fuel for the air coming into the engine. No exceptions to that rule. On older Fords, this usually means a clogged air filter, and that is a $15 part you can swap yourself in under 10 minutes with no tools beyond a screwdriver. But on newer EcoBoost engines, black smoke under load often points to a failing fuel pressure sensor dumping extra fuel into the mix, without the computer catching it fast enough. And that sensor runs about $220 installed at most shops. The reason this sensor fails quietly is that it reports pressure readings that drift slowly instead of cutting out completely. So the engine computer keeps trusting bad data and keeps overcompensating with extra fuel every time you hit the throttle. By the time you see black smoke, that sensor has likely been drifting for weeks. Here is the trick I use in my own bay before I ever pull a sensor off the engine. Rev it to 3,000 RPM in park with the hood up and just watch the smoke. If it gets thicker the higher you rev it, that points to a fuel delivery issue every time. If it stays roughly the same no matter the RPM, that is almost always your air filter or some kind of intake restriction upstream. And that is a 5-minute fix instead of an afternoon at the shop. Quick gut check before we hit the top of this list, because I want to know what you are actually dealing with right now. Drop a comment and tell me what color smoke you are seeing and exactly when it shows up, cold start, idle, or under hard load, because that timing matters just as much as the color itself does. Point 1. That brings us to point 1. The smoke combination that should make you pull over immediately instead of finishing your drive. Thick black smoke combined with a sudden loss of power and a burning oil smell creeping in from inside the cabin is not a sensor problem, and it is not a filter problem either. That combination means your engine is actively damaging itself right now, most likely a cracked piston or a failed turbo seal dumping oil straight into the exhaust manifold while you drive. Shut the engine down and get it towed instead of pushing on to the next exit, because that combination almost always means metal is grinding against metal somewhere inside that block right now. Driving even one more mile on that combination can turn a $2,000 repair into a full engine replacement running north of $6,000, and no warning light is going to flash in time to stop that from happening. A turbo seal failure especially does not announce itself with a dashboard warning until catastrophic damage has already occurred, because the sensors monitoring boost pressure are not designed to detect oil bypassing into the exhaust stream. Bonus diagnostics. Before we close out, there is one more diagnostic worth knowing that has nothing to do with your engine at all. A sharp, sour smell mixed with light gray smoke right after a long highway drive usually points to overheated brake fluid, not a dying motor like most people assume. Drivers panic and think their engine is failing when it is actually their calipers running hot from dragging brakes on one corner of the car. This happens most often when a caliper slide pin seizes up from rust or dried grease, which keeps the brake pad likely contacting the rotor even when your foot is off the pedal completely. 5 minutes with an infrared thermometer on each wheel will tell you exactly which caliper is sticking before you spend a single dime chasing engine codes that were never the actual problem. A healthy caliper should read within 20 degrees of its partner on the same axle, and anything hotter than that by 50 degrees or more means that corner is dragging and needs attention before it eats through a brake pad in half the expected mileage. And one symptom that ties straight back into your transmission rather than your engine block deserves a mention here too. Gray smoke with a burnt, almost hot metal smell, completely different from the sweet maple syrup smell of leaking coolant. Usually means transmission fluid is getting pulled into the intake through a failing vacuum modulator on older Ford automatics. That modulator is supposed to use engine vacuum to regulate shift firmness, but once its internal diaphragm cracks, it creates a direct path for fluid to get sucked straight into your intake manifold and burned along with your normal fuel mixture. Ignore that smell, and you are not just replacing a $35 modulator valve down the line. You are risking fluid starvation inside the transmission itself, since every drop pulled into the engine is fluid no longer lubricating and cooling your gears. And that turns into a $3,000 rebuild if it runs dry while you are still driving on it daily without realizing the level is dropping. A brief diesel-sounding clatter on cold startup that fades once the engine warms up ties into all of this in a way most owners never connect. On Ford diesels, that clatter is normal injector tick and nothing to worry about. But on a gas engine, that exact same clatter is lifter noise caused by oil draining out of the lifters overnight while the car sits, leaving a tiny air gap that has to refill before the lifter can do its job quietly again. It is an early warning that your oil change interval is stretched too long for how hard you actually drive that engine, especially if you're doing a lot of short trips that never let the oil fully circulate and clean out sludge before the engine shuts back off. Catch that clatter early, and a simple oil change with a correct viscosity usually clears it up within a week or two of driving. Your exhaust pipe is cheaper than any scan tool you will ever buy if you actually pay attention to what it is showing you every single drive. Color, timing, and smell together tell you exactly which system is failing long before it costs you thousands of dollars in repairs. Next week, I am showing you the 5 warning lights Ford dealers are trained to downplay until your warranty runs out completely. And trust me, you are going to want to see what they are not telling you about light number 3.